Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network tonight from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. It's the regular season finale with a playoff berth on the line as the visiting Erie Tigers take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel. Senior night, it's already been emotional to begin the night, Brian, and it's great to be playing under the lights, even though the sun is out right now, because this, quite frankly, is a play-in game. This is a play-in game. Now, Erie with a victory is not necessarily in, but you would think that's going to vault them maybe up a couple of spots. And even Fort Morgan, you got to see what happens with the rest of the standings, but you would think 24th in the RPI for Fort Morgan, 26 for Erie. If the Mustangs pull this off and they're 8-1 at home, that should secure them a playoff spot.
You would surely think so, but the Mustangs are going to have to come out and play errorless ball here tonight to go ahead and move on. But I mean, that's what we're here for. That's why they play the games, and hopefully, if they win, that will leave them at 24 or at least 24, and be able to move on to regionals on Monday.
When you and I went off the air on Saturday, and Fort Morgan had beaten Northridge to sweep the doubleheader 6-0, the last point you made was that they were playing errorless baseball. They committed one error in 2 games. That was on Nick at short at the end of the Greeley West game. Now, the good thing is that Jesse Campa's pitching, and when he pitches, he's been nails after a rough outing against Northridge in relief. I mean, his numbers have been very good here for the Mustangs, as we'll set the starting lineups here for Erie. Batting first for the Tigers, both teams at 9-6, is the shortstop, Holden Paintier. Mason Boccia hits second. Sam Stem is the center fielder batting third. The left fielder, Benji Havener, hits fourth. Dylan Alcoof, the right fielder, hits fifth. Darian Burnett, the catcher, bats sixth. The third baseman hits seventh. That's Ben Mueller. Austin Rodriguez hits eighth. And the DH, Ethan Dillinger, bats ninth. The Mustangs defensively have Malachi Bills at first. John Schwenke's at second. He will see one pitch because of the eye injury. Then they'll take him out for Braden Fajardo. Frank Ortega third. Shortstop is Nick Beltran, and left is Levi McCoy. Briggs Wheatley in center. The right fielder is K.O. Langford. Behind the plate is Jackson Langford. And Jesse Campa on the mound. Will run through those numbers here coming up momentarily, because as I mentioned, he's had a banner season for Fort Morgan as a starter. He has developed into one of the 2 aces. So this first pitch will count. It will count. Johnny will be out there for one batter, Holden Pantier, and then Braden Fajardo will replace him. But we'll get this moment here, and we'll put it on our B106 Facebook page. As Jesse Campa, they're going to have a pitch out here on the first pitch of the game. And now John Schwenke, the second baseman, will get a rousing ovation. Sustained a severe eye injury on May the 13th at Frederick. He's had multiple surgeries, getting embraced by his teammates. First is Malachi Bills and Nick Beltran. Brian, doesn't get much better than this right now.
No, this is what it's all about here.
And it's the seniors, all the seniors, embracing John Schwenke just behind the mound up the second base side. And the Mustang faithful with a standing ovation from third base all across, as John Schwenke will walk off Legion Field for the very final time, with his head coach Josh Langford meeting him up the third base line. Obviously unable to play after that injury, but he was able to dress today and even presented with a baseball. As he walks into foul territory, Braden Fajardo will now step in and play second base. What an incredible moment here at Legion Field for John Schwenke, a senior in the Fort Morgan Mustangs. So here we go. I would assume that pitch counted, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's not on the board. It is not on the board. Here with Jesse Campa delivering the pitch momentarily to Holden Paintier. Righty against righty. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Nick Beltran with a tough hop. He fields. He throws to first low and in time.
Nice.
Boy, that thing was hit like a rocket out there. Beltran made one heck of a play on a ball that nearly ate him up. And Paintier's retired. Here's Mason Bacha. Yeah, that's an all-star play out there. That was not easy for Nick. That wasn't easy for anybody. And they get a hitter that was batting .383 going in. And here's Mason Bocha. Alternative pronunciations. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. No balls and one strike. Jesse Campa has not lost this year as a starter or even a reliever in one outing for that matter. 4-0, 2.28 ERA, and that's on the corner for a strike at the knees. No balls and two strikes for the junior right-hander. Bocha coming in. Another good hitter in this lineup. Wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Off the pitcher, charging as a shortstop. Beltran fires to first, 2 down. And that will go 1-6-3 on that excellent play by Beltran. Retiring Mason Bocha. And here is Sam Stem. Stem batting .370. Bocha came in with a .292 average. Brian, that's the defense you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what been a good start here tonight for the Mustang defense.
Left-handed hitter here for Erie. Here's the wind and pitch and a check swing, and it's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes, went with a breaking ball. Yeah, both of those could have been base hits.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was just a hot shot to Nick. Was he going to feel that or not? And the offering. And the breaking ball is right there down the middle for a strike. Beltran. The count is leveled at 1-1. John Beltran with Brian Nickel just underway. 2 down, top of the first inning. The Mustangs are 24th in the 4A RPI, and they take 24 teams. And Erie at number 26. And the 1-1 offering. That fastball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1 with Benji Havener on deck. Every pitch is just a tense moment here because of the magnitude of this game. Either your season is over or you have a chance. More than likely you're in. You can see the shadows creeping in. The offering. And he takes that for a ball down and away on a changeup. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to Sam Stem. Oh, it's a bright sun now. That's going to be tough to see if that ball's hit on the left side. Beltran already covering up his eyes. 3-1 pitch. And that's a fastball down and in. It's a walk to Stem. And that'll bring up Havener. Batting .333. Now, Jesse did struggle in a couple of those innings against Greeley West. He got himself into early inning trouble in the 4th and 5th and somehow worked out of it. But 2-out walks are also a little bit risky. He's got a very good move. 2-step lead at first. For Sam Stem, throw back to first, and the tag is applied, but nothing doing there. Havener digs in for the right side with an open stance. The stretch by Campa and the offering. And the breaking ball is fouled off to the right up the first base side towards the Erie dugout. It's 0-1. The opening pitch today was brought to you by High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank serving Wiggins and all surrounding areas. Find out more at highplainsbank.com. And the first pitch was a pitch out. Throw back to first, and that's a fairly close play, but back in there diving a Stem. Not messing around there is Jesse Campa. Again, he's got a very solid move, and Erie's finding out about that right now. The offering. Swing and a miss. Runner goes to second. The throw's up the shortstop side. Beltran's going to back it up. It's a stolen base. An easy stolen base.
That's what, yeah, looked like it could have been called interference. I think that's what Josh Langford's discussing.
Yeah, on the follow-through on the swing. And that was not easy because the hitter was right out in front. No balls and 2 strikes to Havener. No score, 2 down, top of the first inning. In the regular season finale, the playoffs begin on Monday. One team will be there, more than likely, and the other will not. Looking back, and the pitch. Swung on and popped up, foul territory. Long run for Bills, but it's out of play. On the first base side. Count remains at 0-2. This could have been a big inning for Erie with the two balls that were hit by the first two hitters. And again, that changes the inning with those ground balls that were played out there. But you still got to get Havener. They've got a threat there at second base with Stem with a big lead, a huge lead. Jesse looks back. The offering. And that, did he call time? Yep. I guess he did. Well, that's not a bad strategy. You know, you're up there for a while. The black pinstripe uniforms is what Erie is wearing. The Mustangs in their black horizontal stripe uniforms and the white pants. It'll be a 2-strike pitch coming up here to Benji Havener. Down and away with a fastball. A ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if Campa can make this big pitch here on a 1-2. Righty against righty. The offering. Swung on and lifted into right center field. Long run coming in is Langford. He's going to make the catch in the gap. K.O. Langford closes the gap, and Erie is kept off the board. Let's head to the bottom of the first inning. They leave a runner at second. Erie does not score. The Mustangs are coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's get to the Mustangs starting lineup. Batting first is the right fielder K.O. Langford. In the number 2 position is Jackson Langford. Briggs Wheatley hits third. The fourth hitter is Jesse Campa. The shortstop Nick Beltran hits fifth. Malachi Bills in the 6th position. Batting 7th is Braden Fajardo. Frank Ortega hits 8th. And Colin Farley, the DH, bats 9th. Defensively, Austin Rodriguez at first for Erie. Mason Bocha at second. The third baseman is Ben Mueller. At short is Holden Pantier. The left fielder is Benji Havener. In center is Sam Stem. The right fielder is Dylan Alkoof. Behind the plate is Darian Burnett. And on the mound with an ERA of close to 4.5 is right-hander Trey Hollis. Here is K.O. Langford. Wind and pitch. Swung on and foul to the backstop. No balls and 1 strike.
Being aggressive right off the bat.
Langford goes into the game hitting .349. And in this number 1 spot for the last 3 games. Laying down the sign is Burnett. Trey Hollis comes home. And that is just a little bit inside. The count levels at 1-1. Here to K.O. Langford. Temperature at game time tonight, 90 degrees. The pitch swung on and grounded left side. The third baseman gobbles it up, throws to first. And Ben Mueller retires K.O. Langford 1 down. That'll bring up Jackson Langford, hitting .347. Jack's been very good out of the 2 spot all year. Erie had a base runner in the top of the first inning, but he was stranded at second. Langford awaits the pitch here from Hollis, the right-hander. Delivers. Breaking ball lined. Base hit into right center field. Jackson Langford with a 1-out single in the bottom of the first inning. And here is the hottest hitter in the Mustang lineup, Briggs Wheatley, with a team-leading .389 average. A junior. And Briggs has just been tearing it up as of late. He was about 3rd or 4th in hitting, now at number 1. Left-handed hitter, short lead at first for Langford. That's the first hit for either side. The stretch by Hollis. The pitch. And that fastball is inside. A ball and no strikes. No score, bottom of the first inning. In the regular season finale for both teams, they're both 9-6. Hollis gets the sign from Burnett. Again, a short lead. 1-0. Swung on and driven foul off to the left. And you notice, for those who haven't noticed, Briggs loves the wooden bat. That's a wooden bat, and he's been hitting it very well, hitting with it well. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. In the bottom of the first inning. At the set here is Hollis. Throw back to first, and that throw up the first base side. That's a move just to keep him close with Rodriguez holding at the bag. Now, we'll find out how good the move is once he actually unleashes the move. The stretch by Hollis. 1-1. Swing and a miss way out in front of the off speed. A ball and 2 strikes on Briggs Wheatley. Yeah, he tried to pull that one. Sorry about that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Briggs digging in, and he always, well, I shouldn't say always, but he makes contact a lot more than he does the pitch. Swung on, grounded Wheatley to short. It's going to be a tough play, and the flip to first is going to be in time. Oh, my gosh, I thought he was late. Oh, man. Called out at first base. That's a bang-bang play. And there's 2 down. I thought he was safe.
Yeah, I thought he was there by a step.
Here's Jesse Campa. Boy, that one hurts. I thought he beat that out, but it was bang-bang at first base on that slow roller as Pantier made the play. Jesse Campa looking to deliver. Same situation Erie had a man at second, 2 down. Yeah, that could have changed the inning. Campa hitting .217. Langford with a 5-step lead, and that pitch is down and away. A ball and no strikes to Jesse Campa with Nick Beltran waiting to hit next. A bright sunshine here at 7:18 Mountain Time. Sizable advantage at second for Langford not being held. Now creased back towards the bag. The offering. Swung on line, base hit left field. Let's see if Langford can score. That ball's rolling slowly out there. Langford rounding third. The throw's going to be made towards second. It's an RBI single for Jesse Campa. And the Mustangs lead 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning.
That's what they were needing. Get that clutch hit when they got a guy on.
And more importantly, Brian, a 2-out single. Here's Nick Beltran. We'll have a courtesy runner. Let's see if that's going to be Charlie Langford. Not sure who's coming out. Yeah, that's Charlie Langford. That will be the courtesy runner, the freshman out there. Nick Beltran, his average has dropped quite a bit, hitting .292. Hit the ball solidly of late, but nothing to show for it. 0 for 4 against Meade. The stretch and the pitch and the breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes for the right-hander Hollis. Plenty of baseball to go, though. You got to build on this lead. You really got to build. 82 strikeouts and 81 walks issued by Erie pitching this season. It's not their strength. They get by on offense. Throw back to first, back and diving is Langford. 1 ball and no strikes. And that ball, once it hits the grass in the outfield, Brian, that's not rolling at all.
No, it died out there pretty good. That's how Jackson was able to score.
1 ball and no strikes. The stretch by Hollis. The pitch way outside. It's 2-0. Malachi Bills waits to hit next.
Plus, he also had 2 outs, so he was running on contact anyway. So
right.
That gave him.
But even still, that ball was hit hard.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it died out there. 2-0 to Beltran. Let's see if he's taking here. At the chest, squaring to bunt. And that's right down the middle for a strike on the inner half, actually. 2 balls and 1 strike to the senior shortstop, Nick Beltran. Made 2 very good defensive plays in the top of the first inning. Now looking to crank up some offense in the bottom half of the frame. Laying down the sign is Burnett. Ball 2, strike 1. And the pitch. And that is outside, 3-1. Well, now you got to have a beach ball here because with Malachi coming up, who's been pretty good in clutch situations, you'd have a runner in scoring position. 3-1 to Beltran. The stretch. The offering. Swung on, popped up. And that one's in shallow left field. The shortstop going out, and the ball is going to be caught. I'm not sure why he swung at that pitch. That was a changeup away. And the Mustangs do score a run, though, in the inning as the catch was made out there by Pantier. In the inning, no runs. Or check that, 1 run. And there were 2 base hits, no errors and a man left. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Stubbs Gas and Oil as we head to the top half of the second inning. It is Fort Morgan 1, Erie nothing on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the second inning. Jesse Campa's RBI singles giving Fort Morgan a 1-0 lead here over the Erie Tigers in the regular season finale with a playoff berth on the line. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Alcoof swings and grounds it left side off Frank Ortega's glove for a base hit into left field. First hit for Erie on the first pitch of the second inning. And that'll send up Darian Burnett. Again, this is an offensive team, which is why you got to take advantage of any opportunities you get. And the Mustangs did with 1 run. And now Burnett hitting .286 for the Mustangs at double play depth. And Erie, for the second straight inning, having a man on base. Yeah, they can swing it. The stretch and the offering. Swung on, pop foul, and out of play. Langford to the fence, but he runs out of room. No balls and 1 strike. Jesse Campa's induced a couple of ground balls and a fly into right center.
See if we can get another one set up the double play.
Go back to first. Good move over there, but back in diving is Alcoof. No balls and 1 strike to Darian Burnett. Backing off that plate. Swinging and missing a ball in the dirt, but it skips away from Langford. That's the same thing as a sacrifice. So now you got a man at second and nobody out. That accomplishes what you want to, even if this hitter doesn't deliver. It is a wild pitch, though, and a ball in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes to Burnett with Mueller on deck. Jesse worked out of so many jams against Greeley West, the pitch, and that must have been a little bit high.
Yep.
Got a lot of the plate there. A ball and 2 strikes. Here to Burnett. Looked pretty good from here. Gets a sign. The pitch, swing, and the ball's missed. He's going to have to throw him out, but that's going to be a tough throw towards first. And did he catch it? Yes. Malachi caught it at first, even though the runner was shielding him on the wild pitch going to third. And it looked like there was interference that Coach Langford is calling for, and there's 1 down.
I never saw him.
Oh, did he not? Oh, he's back at first. It wasn't caught. But that had to be interference.
Well, he never made a one way or the other that I saw. I never saw him say safe or out.
Well, there's a courtesy runner at first. Is that got to be a strikeout and a wild pitch? Let's see. Now the 2 umpires are converging. Yeah, because Bills was shielded, and they're going to call him safe. It'll be a strikeout, but he's safe at first. Oh, boy. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, that every single time in Major League Baseball and upper levels is called out. I think he might have been inside the line.
Yeah.
And Jackson got it over the shoulder, but Malachi was completely shielded and couldn't catch it. So now it's a first and third situation, nobody out for Erie in the top of the second, and Coach Langford can discuss it all he wants, but he's not going to get a call here.
No, he's going to go out and talk to the other.
Yeah, we're going to see what happened, because Coach Langford will now speak to his first baseman, Bills. See exactly what happened. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. Buildings by Design. Yeah, that ball got up a little bit up the third base side on Langford off the strikeout, and then he threw it straight to first with a runner pretty much in the path of the baseball, but it didn't make, I don't think it made contact with a runner.
Either. But he was running inside the line, though.
Well, this looks like Erie's going to tie this game at some point right here, because first and third, nobody out. And here we go with Ben Mueller, the number 7 hitter. Ben Mueller hitting .267. Well, if you can turn 2 and the run scores, that at least shortens the inning. You don't want plays like that to determine a game.
No.
You did get a solid base hit to begin the inning. 2-step lead at first. Throw back to first, and that is safe. Close play, but he was back in there. Mustang fans want to pick off, but he's back in there. Looking in for the sign. The pitch and the breaking ball's a strike on the inner half. It's no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Jesse's not going to blow you away with fastballs or anything like that. He's an artist on the mound. Throw back to first, up the first base side, back in diving. Yeah, Jesse this year, in 27 2/3 innings, has just 23 strikeouts to pitch. And that's a fastball for a strike on the outer half. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Here to Ben Mueller, right-handed hitter. First and third, nobody out. 1-0 Fort Morgan, top of the second. Throw back to first again. Back in diving is the courtesy runner. Whoever that is at this point for Erie. Again, every pitch just carries so much weight. Huge crowd here in Fort Morgan. As big a crowd as we've seen for a regular season varsity baseball game. 0-2. The offering. Fastball is upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes on Ben Mueller. And again, the shadows creeping over the hitter, but not quite over the mound. The lights are on. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. Mueller strikes out. There's 1 down. That'll send up Austin Rodriguez. Another right-handed hitter for Erie. Rodriguez hitting .229. Got to make sure if you're trying to pick off the runner that you keep him close at first. The pitch, squaring to bunt, and that was in the dirt, skips away. Runner will take off for second, no throw. It's 1 ball and no strikes. That takes away the double play, and it's, again, second and third with 1 out. The infield looks like they'll concede the run. They are playing back early in the game, up 1-0. No advance from the runner at third, Alcoof. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch, fastball, a strike on the outer half. Took something off of that, and the count levels at 1-1. Jesse seems to make his best pitches when he's in trouble.
Yep, yeah. Nice placement on that pitch.
And the offering. Swing and a miss and a fastball up and in. A ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if he climbs the ladder even more. The number 9 hitter, Ethan Dillinger, is on deck. But Langford's got to block everything if he wants to keep this at 1-0. 1-2. The pitch. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. Off to the right, Langford gives chase. But to no avail. It'll stay at 1-2. To the number 8 hitter. A base hit and then a strikeout, but the hitter was safe on the wild pitch as the ball was in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rodriguez. Opens up that stance. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs, and the count levels at 2-2. 1-0 Fort Morgan on Campa's RBI single in the bottom of the first inning. Again, the infield is playing back, conceding a run if the ball's hit on the ground. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball letter high. Rodriguez strikes out. And there's 2 down here for Ethan Dillinger. Not out of it yet. Dillinger has only 11 plate appearances, but is batting .444, so he's dangerous, even out of the 9 hole. Jesse gets the sign. Steps off. Well, can he pull it off again?
I don't know. He did Saturday. We'll see if he can continue it today.
You go to the well so many times, it's very tough to pull off. The stretch. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is fouled back. It's 0-1. 0-1 to Ethan Dillinger. With 2 in scoring position and 2 down in the top of the second in Fort Morgan. Brian Nickel will take you through innings 3 through 5 while I restore my heartbeat. No balls and 1 strike. Langford lays down the sign. Got to be careful with anything in the dirt. Be very careful here. The pitch. Fastball is high. Went for the corner. A ball and a strike. Runners take their leads out of the stretch with runners at second and third. Alcoof is the lead runner. Campa comes home, and that fastball's upstairs. 2-1. And as hard as Pantier, the on-deck hitter, hit the ball last time to Beltran, you don't want him to hit in this inning.
No.
You do not want him to hit in this inning. That is asking for trouble. Got to make the pitch right now. 2-1. The offering. Swing and a miss, and he gave him a strike there because that pitch was neck high.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been ball 3. Instead, it's 2-2. That was a break that Fort Morgan got. Jesse looking in for the sign. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 1-0 Fort Morgan, top 2. The pitch. Fastball, that is high. But that's the pitch he swung. In fact, he swung at a pitch higher than that.
Yeah.
Got to come in with it now.
He had a good eye on that. It was close enough he could have swung at it.
And that's why he threw it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And time is called. Big pitch coming up. Frank Ortega also available tonight. But a huge pitch is coming up in this sequence. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dillinger, the number 9 hitter. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled. I think went with a breaking ball there, and he fouled it straight back. 35 pitches unleashed there by Campa. 2-1 strike to ball ratio. Almost 2-1. If he gets this one in there, that will be a 24-12 ratio unofficially. 3-2, another payoff pitch. Coming up to the number 9 hitter. Here it is. Swing and a miss! He struck out the side in order after 2 were on and nobody out. Jesse Campa does it again. This guy is a magician. He did it on Saturday. He does it again in the second inning today. The Tigers pick up a hit. They strand 2. Mustang Baseball brought to you in part by Buildings by Design. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning in Fort Morgan. And the Mustangs lead the Erie Tigers 1-0 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. Fort Morgan with a 1-0 lead over Erie. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters and hopefully more. Malachi Bills, followed by Braden Fajardo and Frank Ortega against right-hander Trey Hollis, who allowed a couple of hits and a run in the first inning. Malachi, 362 average coming into the game. He's mainly hitting the bottom of the lineup, has moved up a bit because at one point he was leading the team at 395. Now he's, I believe, third in hitting. So let's see if the Mustangs can continue to just score in, at least in small fragments.
Yep.
At least in small fragments, if not in a big bunch. Awaiting the pitch here is Bills to begin the bottom of the second. Here it is. Swung on and grounded sharply to the second baseman on a third hop. That ball died out there. Low throw, and it skips by. And that'll be an error on the second baseman, Mason Bocha. Boy, that was not a long-distance throw there, Brian, and he threw it right into the ground. And Rodriguez couldn't scoop it. And here's Fajardo.
Yeah, that should be an easy play from second base.
Well,
He's only halfway between first and second either. Anyway,
when you talked about errors, that applies to both teams.
Yep.
You know? And let's see if Fort Morgan takes advantage. Might have the bun sign on here. Fajardo's got massive speed. The third baseman, Mueller, is a little bit in front of that bag, the stretch. The offering. Fastball is upstairs. Good-looking fastball here by Hollis. A ball and no strikes. Yeah, very routine play. Just threw it into the ground. And on that short hop, Rodriguez couldn't come up with it. E4. Short lead at first. Mustangs had to be smart on the bases. They've had some base running episodes this year that have been disturbing. Runner goes, swung on and fouled on the hit and run. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, they'll be testing the arm of Darian Burnett, who's got a good one. That's why I got to execute those. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the second inning. Jesse Campa with an RBI single with 2 outs in the first. Has put the Mustangs out in front 1-0. In what looks like a play-in game for the 4A state tournament. Short lead at first. Fajardo awaits the pitch from Hollis. Squaring to bunt. And he lays it down up the third base side. Barehanded. Throw to first is going to be... It looks like he came off the bag.
Yep.
He's off the bag. That's a sac bunt with an error. It's a sac bunt with an error. And that'll be on the pitcher. That throw is a little bit wide of the target. First and second now for Frank Ortega. That throw is up the first base side. Didn't put a lot of velocity on that throw, Brian.
No, he did not. No, he just kind of lollipopped it over, then it came up short to the first baseman. So,
well, Frank Ortega can certainly bunt, but let's see if Coach Langford has him swinging away. So the Mustangs have been given 2 gifts here. Frankie hitting .222. This could easily be, well, he wouldn't have bunted with nobody out, or with 1 out and the base is empty. I think it would have swung away, but that was to sacrifice the runner. Well, Erie could not take advantage. Let's see if Fort Morgan could take advantage here in the bottom of the second. Squaring to bunt, and it's bunted foul to the backstop. That fastball was right down the middle, too. And it's 0-1. You could have put that down the third baseline. The bases would have been loaded.
Yeah.
Frankie's got a lot of speed, and the third baseman, Mueller, is behind the edge of the grass. The 8th hitter in this lineup for Fort Morgan. 2 on, nobody out, bottom 2. The Mustangs lead 1-0 over the Erie Tigers in Fort Morgan. Laying down the sign is Burnett. Now the shadow's creeping over the infield even more, but the sun is still out. Squaring to bunt, and that's up and away with a fastball. A ball and a strike. And you know, with Erie coming in hitting .300 as a team, you better expand the lead. Top of the order is coming up for them in the third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ortega's got the only home run for Fort Morgan this season. Squaring to bunt, and he lays it up the third base side. Excellent bunt, barehanded. Throw to first is going to be in time with a second baseman covering. Sacrifice goes 1-4. And there's 1 out as the runners advance. Here's Colin Farley. Big opportunity for Farley. Hitting .219. He was in the 300s for a while. Big situation for Colin. And again, Erie in the top half of this frame had second and third, nobody out. This is second and third with 1 out. The infield is playing back. Farley with that close stance, the stretch by Hollis. The pitch, fastball is right there. That might have been the pitch to hit. It's 0-1. Good looking pitch there by Hollis. Down the middle, belt high. Can the junior deliver and extend the lead for the Mustangs? 1-0, bottom 2. No balls and 1 strike. Long pause. Somebody's going to have to call time here. Nope. Now he stretches. The pitch. Swung on. Popped up. Foul territory. Third base side. The catcher, Burnett, is going to make the catch up against the fence. 2 down. He got fooled there on a breaking ball way out in front. That's a big out. Here's K.O. Langford, who grounded a third his first time up. That is a huge out. Both teams with some clutch outs, but Erie's not out of it yet. A little wild pitch, just something. Hollis looks in, the offering, and the breaking ball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. You're not going to win this game 1-0.
No.
You think you could, but Erie's too good. And so is Fort Morgan. They should score more than a run. Langford awaiting. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down, 2 on. Hollis, the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the backstop. Went with a fastball down in the zone. And the count levels at 1-1 to the senior right fielder, K.O. Langford. Bills at third, Fajardo behind him at second. Ayers played it both, or not played, but got him on base. No hits yet in the inning unless Langford can come through. The pitch, and that ball hit him. The breaking ball got him on near the elbow. And here comes Jackson Langford with the bases loaded. He had a base hit his first time up. And he hit that in the first inning on a breaking ball. Another big situation in this game. Huge situation. The stretch. The offering. Curveball is inside. Well, that barely missed. Yeah. I thought it was a strike, but it barely missed. A ball and no strikes. Yeah, he's trying to induce that pop-up, no doubt. Trying to get a little pop-up there. 1 ball and no strikes to Jackson Langford. Bases loaded, 2 down, bottom 2. Fort Morgan leads 1-0 over Erie. Hollis delivers. In the dirt, blocked by Burnett. On the breaking ball, it's 2-0. And I think he's going to take here. I think Coach Langford has him taking here on the 2-0, which would be the smart thing. You got to make him throw a strike here. Out of the stretch. Again with the bases full of Mustangs. 2 balls and no strikes. Time is called. Time is called. Langford back in the box at 2-0. Boy, big pitch coming up for Hollis. Langford awaits. Here it is. That's a fastball for a strike on the inner half. Two balls and 1 strike to Jackson Langford. Can Fort Morgan make this a 2 or 3-0 game? Hollis looks in. He comes home. That's out. Oh, a strike on the outside corner. Oh, man. Oh, did he stretch that zone? That looked like it was outside.
Yep. Catcher even leaned out a little bit.
Oh, man. That's a huge call. That's a huge call. Well, that better be called on both sides, I'll tell you that. That looked like it was down and away. Now it's 2-2. Now Langford's got to wait for anything. It could be a breaking ball here. The pitch. Up and in with a fastball. Oh, they're going to say it hit his bat.
What?
I don't think it hit his bat.
I never heard anything.
That did not hit his bat. That did not hit his bat. Are you kidding me? They're calling that a strikeout. I've got the video here. Well, let's take a break. I can't believe they're calling. I'm going to check out the video here in just a second. I was shooting that particular pitch. He got the bat out of the way. That's another huge call, especially if it's inaccurate. The Mustangs leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the second inning. I didn't see that. That is crazy. All right, we're going to check this out here during the break. 1-0 Fort Morgan on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Going to the top of the third now. The Mustangs leave him loaded in the bottom of the second. Looked like it could have been a controversial call, but it may have nicked the bat. But anyway, we go to the top of the third inning. Holden Paintier, he led off the game with a hot shot to Nick Beltran and was out at first. And that is going to be hit out into right field. Let's see if Cale can get to it. He cannot, and it's a fair ball. So Paintier will be on to second to lead off this third inning with a double.
I mean, he just went the other way with that one, but I'm going to check this out here on this video to see if Jackson actually made contact with a pitch. And, boy, that is close. Let's see. I mean, slowing this thing down as we get to the next hitter. And, well, that's awfully close.
Must have thought he heard something or saw something. Had to have heard it.
I mean, that is possible. If it might have grazed it. It was very close. And that's why you got to pull that bat back. And now Erie is threatening with a man at second and nobody out. 1-0 Fort Morgan in the third.
So Mason Boccia, he is 0 for 1 on a ground out. Also hard hit ball in the first inning.
And at some point, you can't dodge all these bullets. That's why Fort Morgan needed a score in that inning. Both teams have 2 hits right now.
Yes, Campa looks back, and the delivery, and that ball is in the dirt, but nice stop there by Jackson to keep it in front of him.
And the other thing you don't want to do, Brian, is throw more wild pitches. You notice that has not happened at all to Erie.
Yep.
Well, the Mustangs have had a couple, including a strike 3, but again, Jesse Campa pitches out of it, but you can't dodge, again, this many bullets.
Yeah. So Campa looks in, gets his sign. They're going to throw it back to second, but back safely, just barely safely, as Nick Beltran covers out there at second. But back safely is Holden Paintier.
And keep in mind, it's Erie that has played the sloppier game, committing a couple of errors. But they only trail 1-0 in the third in a play-in game here for the 4A state playoffs, for the 4A regional playoffs.
Campa looks back. He has the sign. And the pitch. And it's going to be bunted up the third baseline.
Yeah, don't even throw it.
Nope. Ortega was playing back, and then he hesitated. So there was no way that he was going to be able to throw anybody out at first.
I'm not sure why the infield defense was situated the way it was, because he didn't come in at all, and that was going to be a base hit 100 times out of 100. And now, once again, Erie's got 2 on base with nobody out. But this is not the bottom of the order. You've got the number 3 hitter in Sam Stem. And, Brian, he reached base his first time.
Yep, he walked his first time up. So a patient batter. So we'll see what kind of ball that Erie is looking at playing here. If they're going to try to bunt Boccia over.
Yeah,
I throw over. That was close. They got him. Called him out. The pickoff at first base by Jesse Campa.
Wow. That's a huge call there. I'm not sure he actually picked him off, but that's a huge call. And there's one down here in the top of the third inning.
So
well, he's standing on the bag, but they already called him out.
Yeah.
He already called him out. So I don't know if the infield's going to play in now with one down, but you can have a discussion there, but he's been called out. So there's no replay system. I don't know why he would just be standing there like we're in the majors and we can check it on the headphones, because that doesn't exist at the amateur level, at least at the high school level. It does at the Division I level, but not at the high school level. So now 1 on and 1 out with a man at third, and the Mustangs are playing the infield in, trying to cut off the tying run here in inning number 3.
So Campa looks in as he still looks into that sun at the catcher. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out into left field. And that will bring the run in. I don't know why he was holding up. He apparently didn't see the ball very well. But Paintier will come in now and tie this game up at 1 here in the top of the third.
Well, in case it was caught, it was not going to be caught, Brian, but you're taught as a base runner that I don't care. You know, that ball's in the air. You got to wait till it lands in case something crazy happens. So now we're tied at 1, and again, he couldn't dodge that bullet.
So Benji Havener up. He has flied out his first time up. Now that's a big swing and a miss there by Havener. Nice pitch there by Jesse Campa. So a runner on first. Score tied here at 1 here in the top of the third. After a single to left field. And the pitch. And that's going to be low and outside for ball 2. Ball 1, excuse me.
When's the last time Campa gave up a run? Because he shut out Greeley West 2-0. Well, he beat Thompson Valley 4-3, so that would have been like the 4th inning of that game a couple of weeks ago, which Fort Morgan rallied to win after being down 3-1, and time is called at the plate. So Jesse doesn't allow too many runs. You look at the category, the left on base category, the Mustangs have stranded 4, and Erie has left 3.
Yep. So Campa with a pitch and the takeoff, but the ball is going to be fouled, I believe. Yep. They're going to call a foul ball at the plate.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to go back to first. He took a swing, and I don't know if he hit the ball at all. It was very awkward. In fact, the hitter, Havner, thinks he didn't make contact. Yeah. You know, everything's going to be contested in this game because so much is on the line for both teams making the playoffs, and that's what happens when you go in with 9-6 records in a shortened season. They're not going to change that call. No. Once you make that call, if you even attempt to change that call, you're going to have a verbal riot out there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Benji Havner, 1 across on the base hit by Sam Stem. The Mustangs got on the board on the RBI single in the first inning from Jesse Campa. Why is he standing out there at second? He already sent him back to first.
He's got to go back to first.
I mean, what is going on? There's no replay here. My gosh. I mean, the arrogance is ridiculous. And it was already ruled a foul ball.
They call him out?
Oh, you know what? They might have called a batter interference or something. So there's 2 down. I don't know what that would have been, but it was not a 2-strike pitch, Brian.
No, is it? No.
I have no idea why he's been called out there. Yeah, it has to be batter's interference. That's it. So 2 down, that changes everything in the inning for Erie, even though they scored a run.
That pitch is
low.
Low for a ball.
I'm even looking at a score that.
So Dylan Alcoof, he's 1 for 1 on a single. Throw over to first, but back in safely is Sam Stem.
Yeah, I guess it's called offensive interference here in this particular book.
As Jesse checks his runner over at first with 2 out now, and that pitch is going to be hit out into right center field, and it will be caught by Cale Langford. Nice job there by Cale Langford to come up with the ball as the Erie Tigers get 1 on. But they score nobody, so we'll go to the bottom of the third. Scored a run, I'm sorry. 1-1 here as we go to the bottom of the third on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So we go to the bottom of the third, all tied up here at 1. Fort Morgan plates 1 in the bottom of the first. Erie puts 1 across here in the top of the third.
Well, at some point you got to deliver with your hitters here for Fort Morgan because they benefited from some errors. They only had 6 hits, Ryan, on Tuesday in a 10-7 loss. But Hollis is not throwing the ball out of the zone. In fact, 20 of his 32 pitches have been for strikes in this 1-1 game. And now you have the heart of the order coming up.
Briggs Wheatley to lead off here. He has had a ground out 0 for 1. He'll be followed by Jesse Campa and Nick Beltran. As Trey Hollis out there on the mound looks in for the sign and the delivery, and that ball is going to be hit out into center field, ranging over and caught by the center fielder Sam Stem for out number 1 here in the top of the third.
I think that's a pitch that probably would have been better served being pulled. It got in on the hands. And Wheatley, it's rare that he's retired, but it happened here to begin the bottom of the third inning.
So Jesse Campa 1 for 1. He has the RBI for the Mustangs. As Hollis looks in. And the delivery, and that is a swing and a miss on a low ball. Campa with the RBI early on. Down in the count now, no balls and 1 strike. And Hollis with the pitch, and that is going to be outside.
That's the same pitch that was called a strike to Jack on the 2-1. The same pitch.
Yep.
I mean, that, and that changed that inning. You can't call that a ball if you called it a strike earlier. I'm sorry, that gets me upset.
So Stem with the delivery, and that ball is going to be nubbed out to the shortstop. We'll see if Campa can outrun it. And it gets by Campa, and he will stay at first.
That looked like an error on the first baseman. I think that throw from Pantier was right there to Rodriguez, and that's going to be the 3rd error of the game for Erie on what looked like a routine throw.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So now Nick Beltran up. He is 0 for 1 on a fly out. Flied out in the first inning.
He's got to come through. He's 1 out of his last 13. Big situation here in a 1-1 game in the third.
So Stem looks in, checks his runner over at first. And the pitch. And looking to bunt, but not bunting. Like we have that's Charlie Langford over at first. Courtesy runner over at first.
Well, he could sacrifice, but you'd like to get on via the hit.
So 1 ball, no strikes. As Sam Stem checks his runner. And the pitch. And that is inside. Ball two, 2 balls and no strikes.
Went with a bender there. Little breaking ball, and Nick did not budge whatsoever. And now ahead in the count.
2 balls and no strikes. So we'll see what the Mustangs do here. And the pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike on the fastball on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the third, all tied up at 1. Once again, numerous times for both teams that could have scored but did not. That's Hollis with the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out into center field, and that will be caught out there by Sam Stem for the out number 2. And the runner at first has to go back.
Well, he tried for the gap there, but he had him played perfectly. And that'll bring up Malachi Bills. You hit the ball hard as Beltran did there, just could not find the gap.
So 2 out now with Malachi Bills. He is 0 for 1.
But that's why he's playing over there, Brian. He's playing over there because they're pitching to the defense,
right.
And that was perfect pitching, and Beltran couldn't pull it.
So Hollis with the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit hard out into center field. Right to Stem for out number 3 as the Mustangs get the leadoff batter on, but do not score. And we will now go to the top of 4, all tied up at 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We go to the top of the 4th, all tied at 1. Leading off for Erie will be Darian Burnett, followed by Ben Mueller and Austin Rodriguez.
This is one of these innings you want to get 1, 2, 3, so the 9-hitter does not hit here against Jesse Campa, 45 pitches deep. But his biggest inning was the second. Struck out the side in order with second and third, and nobody out, and did not allow a run, although he gave up one last inning on the base hit from Sam Stem.
So Darian Burnett, he is 0 for 1. As he gets settled into the box. Campa looks in to Langford. And the pitch, and that ball is hit hard out into left field. But camping under it out there is Levi McCoy for out number 1. Had to fight that sun out there a little bit still, but he came down with it for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th inning.
He gave it a ride shy of the warning track, and thankfully Burnett just got underneath it. If not, it would have been a 2-1 game. And it's these 3 that he struck out. He struck out Burnett and also struck out Mueller here.
So Mueller 0 for 1 on the strikeout. And the pitch. And that ball is going to be fouled out of play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. And the field is almost completely in shadow, except for the up through center field towards right or left center, excuse me. As Campa looks in, and the pitch, and that is going to be up and away for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As we play under the lights here at Legion Field. Campa with a pitch, and that is going to be up.
Well, he's only issued 1 walk in this game through 3 1/3 innings, and the game is 1 hour old and nearly halfway through, tied at 1 in the 4th inning.
Campa with the sign and a delivery, and that is going to be, catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Evens it up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Burnett flew out to Levi McCoy. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit hard over the third baseman out into left field. And he's going to hold at first as they get the ball in. Good thing that Fajardo stopped that ball because they didn't have anybody backing him up out there.
Not a good pitch there. You hung a 2-2 breaking ball, and that was batting practice, quite frankly. You can't hang that pitch. And for Erie, that is their 5th hit of the game. The Mustangs only have 2, and that came in the same inning. So again, Erie's got a better offensive team than Fort Morgan. The Mustangs, though, are better defensively, and they've got to pitch better today if they want to pull this out and advance to the playoffs.
So Austin Rodriguez, a strikeout victim also. And the pitch. And that misses low and away. 4-1. To the number 8 hitter, Austin Rodriguez. Going to throw over to first, and that was close. But back in safely is Mueller.
You want to cut that out, threw that into the ground. That's a risky proposition.
Campa checks his runner over at first. Now he gets his sign and the pitch. And that's going to be outside for ball 2. Needs to keep his concentration at home.
Exactly, because he's playing with fire right now, 1-on-1 out in the 4th inning in a tie game. And if somehow this hitter reaches, you're in trouble here with 9-1 coming up.
And the pitch, and that ball is popped up as Frank Ortega settles under it, and he does come down with it. It's a nice out pitch there by Jesse Campa to get the pop up to Ortega.
Well, you are going to clear the 9-hitter, which does help Erie. That certainly does help them clearing the 9-hitter.
So that will bring up Ethan Dillinger. He is also a strikeout victim, but now with 2 outs and a runner at first. And Campa with the pitch, and that ball is hit out into left field. Levi McCoy camping under it out there, and he comes down with it for out number 3. So the Erie Tigers come up empty here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, all tied up here on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the bottom of the 4th we go. It will be the bottom 3rd of the order for the Mustangs. Braden Fajardo, Frank Ortega, and Colin Farley. As we play here in the bottom of the 4th, all tied up at 1. Mustangs scored 1 in the 1st. Erie scored theirs in the top of the 3rd.
And often these games are decided, Brian, by the bottom of the lineup. You know, it's not always the stars, the guys in the middle of the lineup or the top of the lineup that decide games like this. It's at the bottom. But the one concern of your Fort Morgan now, you're not hitting the ball. You have not taken advantage of 3 errors committed by Erie. You are the home team, so as this game gets tighter, you do have the last at bat, but you want to reclaim the lead at some point pretty quickly.
So Fajardo is 0 for 0 and a sack bunt his first time up. As he steps in from the right side as he gets settled in, and Trey Hollis on the hill still for Erie with 42 total pitches. And the pitch, and that pitch is in there for a strike. Fastball thigh high there on Fajardo. As he steps back into the batter's box, Hollis gets his sign. And the pitch, and that is going to be low and away. To even the count here at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go at Equitable Savings and Loan. Check them out, Equitable Savings and Loan.
So Hollis with the pitch, and that is up and in for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hollis with 45 total pitches, 27 strikes, 18 balls.
And it's not walked anybody. He struck out only 1, though.
As he checks, he gets his sign from Burnett. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit up the middle and stopped by the second baseman, but Fajardo will beat that out for the infield hit. Nice job out there, nice try out there by the second baseman, but Fajardo runs that out for the infield hit.
Well, yeah, up the middle, and Bocha had to go to his right on his knees and nearly made the play, but too much speed there for Braden. I don't know if you necessarily bunt now. I mean, you might want to swing away because they did the bunt strategy before and it didn't pay off with Farley up there, and then they were unable to deliver when Jackson Langford struck out in the 2nd.
So Frank Ortega up now. He is 0 for 0 here as we go into, as we play here in the bottom of the 4th. Throw over to first, but back safely is Fajardo. So Hollis keeping an eye on him. So maybe that'll take his concentration off of the plate a little bit.
Such an explosive lineup for Erie. That's why the Mustangs have an opportunity with a leadoff man on in the 4th inning in a 1-1 game.
Hollis with the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss on a low ball. So no balls and 1 strike as Frank Ortega bats in from the right side. Gets his sign from head coach Josh Langford down at 3rd. Settles back into the batter's box. Checks his runner over at first, and the pitch. And that is going to be low in the dirt. But Burnett with a nice stop, and that will keep Fajardo at first.
That guy's been a wall back there, a complete wall. Nothing is getting by Darian Burnett. If it did, we'd have a runner at second and nobody out in the fourth inning.
Yeah. Hollis checks his runner over at first, gets the sign from Burnett. Comes to the set and the pitch. And that pitch is going to be in there on that breaking ball for strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And he was bailing out there. He thought it was going to be a fastball, so now you got to protect.
But Fajardo at first with no outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the number 8 hitter, Frank Ortega. And the pitch, and that is going to be fouled at the plate. He was just protected on that one. It was close enough for him to take a swing out, but did foul it off and stay in alive here. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All the pressure's on Fort Morgan. They're the home team. Expected to win here. They're 8-1 at home. And the later this game gets, Erie gains confidence as they stay in the game.
So Hollis with the pitch. And that ball is hit out to left field. And Havener is camping under it. He does come down with it. So that will keep Fajardo at first. On that fly out to left field. That will bring up Colin Farley. He flied out his first time up.
Yeah, more like a pop-up to the screen here that was called by the catcher. He wants to hit it forward, not backwards.
Right.
So it's a big at-bat for Colin, who's been in a significant slump here over the last few games. He was tearing up the baseball earlier. But how appropriate would it be for Colin to get a big hit here and move the runner over to at least second or third?
So Hollis with the pitch. And that ball is upstairs. For ball 1 and no strikes. Yeah, just Colin Farley steps back into the right-handed batter's box.
Gets a base hit, he'll get his confidence back up.
Yeah.
Just needs that confidence. It's not there right now.
So Hollis with the pitch and a swing and a miss, but that ball is going to be sailed out to center field on the stolen base. But Fajardo,
Yeah, they're gonna
call. They're going to call.
Yeah,
batter
that was not smart of Colin. That is interference. That's a good call. He stretched out well over the plate, so that's going to be 2 down. That's a good call. Yeah, he should have just let that go. That pitch was down and away.
Yep.
And there's 2 down. I mean, you have to make that call. And here's K.O. Langford. He should have let that go. If you can't reach it, don't reach out. That's a mental mistake. Huge mental mistake there.
Yeah,
it was going to be a steal either way.
So Fajardo back to first now with 2 outs. So K.O. Langford is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. And a pitch. And that is going to be inside for ball 1. Jackson Langford on deck. See if Kale can keep this inning alive. With it all tied up here at 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Hollis with the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out to the shortstop, backhanded over to first, and in time on the bounce to first is out for Cale Langford. So we will go to the top of the 5th inning, all tied up at 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Go to the top of the 5th inning, all tied up at 1. Top of the order now for the Erie Tigers, Holden Pentier. He'll be followed by Mason Boccia. Looks good.
One of those 2, yeah.
And then followed by Sam Stem.
And this is the part of the order that scored when Pentier had that leadoff double in the 3rd inning. Dangerous hitter for the Erie Tigers and hit that bullet to Beltran to begin the game. So he's had 2 very good swings and hitting .383 going in.
So see if Jesse can work on him here a little bit as he is set for the pitch, and that delivery is up over the head of the batter. So 1 ball, no strikes. Jesse Campa sits at 57 total pitches, at least what I have anyway. 37 strikes, 20 balls. And the pitch, and that is going to be low and away. 2 balls and no strikes, which you don't want to get behind to these batters.
Not this late in the game. You're in the 5th inning already, and you've only walked 1 batter, and you've struck out 4.
And the pitch, and that is in there for a strike.
And he threw a changeup there. Good pitch.
So 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Holden Pentier. As Jesse with the delivery, and that is going to be fouled back to the fence on that curveball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1-1 here in the top of the 5th. As Jesse Campa gets his sign from Langford. And the pitch. And that is up and away for ball 3.
Tried to get him fishing, but Pantier is maybe the best hitter in this lineup, certainly a top 2 hitter.
Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Campa with the pitch. And the delivery, excuse me, and that ball is going to skip by Langford to the backstop.
Try to get him chasing. Yeah, try to get him chasing on a off-speed pitch, and I don't know if you throw that on a 3-2. You got to be real confident in a 1-1 game to throw that on a 3-2.
So now once again, Erie with a runner on with no outs. And up at the plate is Mason Boccia. He is 1 for 2. Grounded out his first time up and then bunted it the last time up. Yes, Campa looks in and then he checks Paintier over, and time is going to be called, so no pitch. Time called by the batter. So we'll see what the Mustangs can, they can keep Erie off of the scoreboard here in the 5th, although they do have 1 on and no outs. Campa checks his runner over at first, going to throw over, but back in safely is Pentier.
Fill up your cooler, gas up your car, Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient, which makes them the only stop you need, Stubbs Gas and Oil.
So Campa looks in, but Boccia is still out of the batter's box trying to get his sign from his third base coach. Now steps back in. Campa looks over at first, gets his sign, and they squared a bunt. Going to throw back to first.
Oh boy, he hesitated.
Yep.
You got to throw that to second.
And
No, Malachi didn't know what was happening there. It's a stolen base. Malachi had no idea where the runner was, and maybe there was no communication because he turned around, he wasn't there.
Yep. As Jackson Langford threw down to first, they had him off, but he ended up safe at second on the stolen base. And the pitch. And that is no balls and 1 strike.
Well, it should be 1-1. He bunted it foul.
Yep.
The previous pitch was a ball. Should be. Now it's, I think they have the
2.
count wrong up there. I don't even know it's 2-2. I guess they're going to have to redirect the count here because I don't have it at 2-2. But we'll see.
Campa gets.
Yeah, I didn't even see that confirmation for the home plate umpire.
So Campa looks in. And the pitch. And that is inside. It hit him, apparently. So, now, let's see what they're talking here about. That Josh Langford comes out.
Yeah, this has turned into a mess right now. Are they going to say that it hit the bat? I think the field umpire said it hit the bat, so that would be a strike, and it would be 2 strikes on the hitter. With what I have is 1 ball.
Yeah.
That it hit the bottom of the bat, the knob. Man, we've had a lot of discussions in this game. It doesn't make for a fast-flowing baseball at all. Slows down the game quite a bit.
He apparently thought he had hit it, or was hit first, and took off, and then the home plate umpire brought him back. So I have it as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if, I believe that's what it is. As Jackson Langford just relayed it to somebody. It was 1 ball and 2 strikes to Boccia. with a runner on at second with no outs. See if Campa can pitch out of another jam here in the top of the fifth. Now time is going to be called at the plate once again as Boccia backs out.
Well, he doesn't have to grant him time every
No.
time because that's already the second time in this sequence. And again, it's slowing down the game, but they want to disrupt the rhythm of the pitcher Campa with a ball and 2 strikes here and a man at second. 1-1 in the top of the fifth. Nobody out.
Campa checks his runner out at second. And the pitch, and that's in the dirt, but kept in front of Jackson Langford. Nice job by Langford to keep the runner out there at second.
Well, the board says 3-2. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see if the umpire.
But you can't throw pitches in the dirt with men on base. Then you put all the pressure on your catcher.
I think it's 2-2. I think I saw the umpire just do that. That ball is going to be fouled off to the right, out of play.
This is such a dangerous part of the lineup. You just sense that Erie's about to go out on top, and the Mustangs are going to have to swing the bats here over the final 3 innings. You just want to prevent the big inning. Every game that Fort Morgan has lost this year has been close. They've won a couple of close games.
So the count is 2-2. And the pitch. That ball is going to be hit out into center field. Oh, excuse me. Comes down to Beltran. Popped up. I lost sight of it. But out is Boccia. On the pop out to Nick Beltran at short.
Here's a dangerous hitter. He's walked and singled. And I believe the lone lefty in the lineup in Sam Stem. Got to be careful the way you pitch to him.
He steps in, as John said, from the left side. 1-1 here in the top of the fifth. With a runner on at first. A runner on at second, excuse me. As he stole that base. As Campa looks back. And now time is going to be called.
Jesse's got to make sure he keeps the runner close, but not to the point that he is distracted by what he's doing at the plate. Because right now, this is the guy with the lone RBI for Erie.
Campa with the delivery. And that gets by Jackson. Wild pitch to the backstop. And that will send Paintier to third.
Now you got to play the infield in. I mean, that's a wild pitch, but I think that's very makeable by the Mustang catcher. I didn't see it bounce too far out in front of him.
No, I didn't see it.
And these are little things that you got to make these plays. Little things.
So now runner 90 feet away with only 1 out.
Again, the loser of this game is done for the season. The winner doesn't necessarily go to the playoffs. You would think Fort Morgan would. Erie, not necessarily. They're 26 in the RPI. They take the top 24.
So Campa looks in, gets his sign from Langford. And the delivery, and that ball is going to be hit out into right field, and that will bring in Pantier on that single. Hard hit ball out into right field. And that will put Erie up now 2-1 here in the top of the fifth.
Not a surprise there. You give away too much defensively. And that would have scored him anyway from second, I would think. Well, the ball was hit pretty hard, but now you just got to keep this at 2-1 and leave it up to your offense.
So Stem now on at first. Benji Havener. He is 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. Take a double ball here. Double play ball.
He's going to throw to first. You can sense it.
Comes home with a pitch and in the dirt, but stopped by Langford.
I mean, Jesse doesn't have his best stuff, Brian. He's throwing a lot of pitches in the dirt, and you can't do that in a winner-take-all situation. You got to make it a little bit easier on your catcher. You can throw him down in the zone, but a lot of these pitches have hit the dirt. And
throw over to first, but back in safely sliding is Sam Stem.
I mean, down 2-1 is no big deal, but 3-1, 4-1 in a pitcher's duel, that's a big deal.
Campa with the pitch, and that's going to be low and away. So Campa gets behind in the count here. 2 balls and no strikes. So he's going to have to come in with one. To Benji Havener. He is 0 for 2. And the pitch. And that's going to be up and away for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. So Havener will be taking on this pitch. As Sam Stem is at first after the RBI single to right. And the pitch, and that is right down the middle for strike one. 3 balls, 1 strike. So we'll see what Jesse comes back with here on this next pitch. As he checks his runner over at first, they're going to throw over, but back in safely is Stem.
With every pitch, it gets a little bit tougher to watch when you're this invested.
2-1 Erie here in the top of the 5th. And the pitch, and that is going to be upstairs for the walks. And now 2 on with 1 out. And that now will bring up Dylan Alcoof.
Second walk issued by Campa. That's a big one. And Alcoof is 1 for 2. He swings a pretty good bat. Here comes Josh Langford. And a huge situation here for Fort Morgan. Their season is on the line, trailing 2-1 with 2 on and 1 out and 1 across here in the 5th inning. Sam Stem has driven in both runs. And Brian, 1 swing could really make this a 3 or 4 run game, and that's why Coach Langford is out to the mound. He realizes how huge this situation is for the Mustangs. In a 2-1 Erie lead, Fort Morgan led briefly in this game 1-0 until the 3rd. When Stem tied it up. Mustangs had a bases loaded, 2-out situation, and Jackson struck out on a questionable call. And again, looking at men left on base, the Mustangs have stranded 6. Erie's stranded 5. They've committed the only errors of the game. And 3 errors to nothing for Fort Morgan.
Yep.
But wild pitches galore, which, those are not errors, but they give you free bases.
So see if Campa can pitch out of this once again.
And you go back to all the games they lost to Mountain View and to Northridge, they wouldn't be in this position. You lost to teams you should have defeated. And because of that, you could be eliminated right here.
Yep. So Campa with the pitch. And that bounces, and that is going to advance the runner from 2nd to 3rd.
I don't know why he's doing that. I mean, that's constant already. That is way too many wild pitches here for Jesse Campa.
So now runners at the corners.
You can still play the double play here, the infield at double play depth, but you're just giving away bases with the number of wild pitches that have been thrown here. And for Campa, that is his 5th wild pitch.
Checks his runners, looks into Langford for the sign. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch, and that ball is hard hit, and that is out into left field. And that will be a single, hard hit single out to left, but that will plate the run. As it is now 3-1 Erie. With still just 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
He might not make it through the inning. He's got to get through this inning. He's fewer than 80 pitches deep, but trailing 3-1. Got to figure something out now, and so does the offense. And right now, Fort Morgan is being out-hit 7-3.
So up is Darian Burnett. He is the catcher. He is 0 for 2. Flied out his last time up, out to Levi McCoy. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out to the second baseman, Fajardo, and out at first will be Darian Burnett. But that does advance the runners to 2nd and 3rd. And that will bring up Ben Mueller.
He hung a breaking ball to Mueller last time up and got a single. If that happens again, Fort Morgan's going to be down by maybe as many as 4. So this is a huge hitter. And again, you got to keep the ball out of the ground if you're the pitcher, Campa. As Morgan's down to their final 9 outs, they could be down to by as many as 4.
Campa with the delivery, and that is a big swing and a miss on a ball that is down. Yes, he gets ahead in the count now, does Campa. No balls and 1 strike, but runners now at 2nd and 3rd. with Erie leading at 3-1 here in the top of the 5th. Campa looks in, and the pitch, and that breaking ball, beautiful pitch there by Campa. So head in the count now is Campa. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Mueller did strike out his first time up, but did have a single last time.
Can't hang a breaking ball.
And the pitch. And that is called strike 3 for Jesse Campa. But 2 runs do score here in the top of the 5th as Erie now takes the lead 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Well, the Mustangs find themselves down now by 2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1. They need to get some offense cranked up here in the 5th. And that will be up to Jackson Langford to get it started. It will be Jackson Langford, Briggs Wheatley, and then Jesse Campa. Batters that can get this started.
Well, their biggest inning of the year was against Roosevelt when they were down 4-0. And I think that was a 9-run 5th inning. And then all of a sudden the Mustangs won that game 11-4. So they got to figure it out right now against Trey Hollis, who's done a pretty good job. He's done a very good job allowing just 1 run and only 3 hits to a lineup that has been up and down this season for the Mustangs.
So as they still warm him up, Jackson Langford is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. As they throw down to second now, it'll be Langford, Wheatley, Campa, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. So Jackson needs to get it started right here in the 5th. Mustangs down 3-1. Jackson steps into the batter's box and gets set on a beautiful evening here at Legion Field as the sun has gone down, still somewhat light. And the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss.
He's got to go for a base hit there. He's trying to make it 3-2 on that swing. Swung out of his shoes on that first pitch.
So no balls and 1 strike. That's Trey Hollis with 56 pitches with a delivery. And that is going to catch the outside part of the plate. So Jackson down on the count now. No balls, 2 strikes. So see what Trey Hollis throws him some junk or if he comes right after him. Hollis with a delivery, and that is going to be fouled. So the count remains at no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's tough when you're down in the count at 0-2. But he's been good all year. Had a base hit his first time up. And even if the Mustangs don't deliver here, you still got, 6 outs to play with after this inning. But it'd be nice to at least draw to within 1.
So Hollis gets set out on the mound as he gets his sign from Burnett. With Wheatley on deck. Time is going to be called at the plate by Langford.
Well, that's what Erie's been doing.
Yep.
You got to counter that strategy.
Get him off his rhythm a little bit. As Hollis looks in once again to Burnett. Langford ready. Hollis with the pitch. And they're going to call that strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. So Jackson Langford is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. That will bring up Briggs Wheatley. He is 0 for 2. Yes, he grounded out to the shortstop and then flied out to center.
2 strikeouts in the game for Hollis, both on the Mustang catcher.
So Hollis looks in as Wheatley in the left-handed batter's box, and that pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes with Jesse Campa on deck for the Mustangs. And Wheatley's going to step out for just a minute. Now back in. Hollis looks into Burnett for the sign and the delivery. And that ball is going to be fisted foul off to the left and out of play.
He's jamming these left-handed hitters with fastballs. Did that with Beltran earlier in the first at bat. Well, actually didn't. They pitched him away, but tried in the second at bat. He lined to left center.
Evens the count now. 1 ball and 1 strike. To Wheatley. 0 for 2. And the pitch. And that's going to be low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you remember the dramatics that got Fort Morgan to the state tournament 2 years ago, down 6-3. Going into the 7th, and they scored 6 runs, so they've shown rally mode before.
So 2 balls and 1 strike is Hollis with the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss by Wheatley. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. So we'll see if Wheatley can gather himself here and get the ball in play. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out to right field, and that will drop for the single. Nice job there by Briggs Wheatley to get that single out to right, to get this thing started here with 1 out. Jesse Campa now up. He is 1 for 2, a single.
Also reached on an error. So he's been on base twice, and this is it. Wheatley did what he had to do. Now next 2 or 3 guys got to come through.
Jesse Campa at the plate. Nick Beltran on deck. Hollis checks his runner over at first, and the pitch. And that is, breaking ball is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to the pitcher, Jesse Campa. Trey Hollis now has 65 total pitches, 42 strikes, 23 balls. Yes, Campa gets set, and a steal attempt by Briggs, and he will be in there as the throw goes over the top of the second baseman. But in safely will be Briggs Wheatley. So now the Mustangs with a man in scoring position for Campa. See if they can take advantage of it here, down 3-1 here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out.
Only Fort Morgan's 4th hit of the game when Wheatley delivered.
1-1 with 1 out, and that is going to be a swing and a miss by Campa. As he gets down in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wheatley out at second. Beltran on deck. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Erie leading at 3-1 after scoring 2 runs in the top of this inning. Trey Hollis with the pitch, and that is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 3. So now it'll be up to Nick Beltran to try to get Wheatley advanced, but with 2 outs, as Beltran is 0 for 2, 2 flyouts. 1 to the shortstop and 1 to left field. Yes, Hollis checks his runner now. The delivery, and that ball is going to be called a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Senior Nick Beltran at the plate for the Mustangs, down in the count, no balls and 1 strike. As Hollis with the pitch, and that ball is going to be nubbed foul up the third baseline. Beltran now down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
He got fooled on that one. He was way out in front. He thought it was a straight up fastball, took something off it.
So Wheatley gets his lead out at second. With Erie up 3-1 here, bottom of 5. No balls, 2 strikes to Beltran. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out into right field. But it looks like Alcoof will come down with it. So the Mustangs do not score as they get 1 on. So we'll go to the top of the 6th inning with the Mustangs down 3-1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
The Mustangs are down to their final 6 outs, trailing 3-1 going into the top of the 6th inning. And the Tigers will send up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters against Jesse Campa, Austin Rodriguez, Ethan Dillinger, and Holden Pantier. Rodriguez is struck out and popped out. Campa's about 80, 81 pitches in. And the difference, a 2-run fifth inning for Erie. 1 inning ago. Looking for the road victory and a possible berth in the postseason. Eliminating Fort Morgan's chances. Winding the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. A ball and no strikes. It's a lonely place outside of the top 24 because you don't play baseball at the high school level anymore. The pitch, and that one hit him in the helmet. Not a good way to start this 6th inning if you're Jesse Campa. Here's Ethan Dillinger, the number 9 hitter who struck out and flown to left. And quite frankly, Hollis has outpitched Campa.
Yep.
Easily.
Yeah.
In fact, their battery has been a lot better. The battery being the pitcher and the catcher. A lot better. I mean, Burnett has had a heck of a game behind the plate. So here we go with Dillinger at 0 for 2. And the leadoff man on again for Erie. Throw back to first. Close play, but back in diving is Rodriguez. The Tigers want to make it a happy trip back to Erie, and they're 6 outs away, but still looking to add to the lead in the 6th inning. Throw back to first, and back in diving is Rodriguez. Mustangs had a 1-0 lead on Jesse Campa's RBI single in the first, but they have just 2 hits since the 1st inning. Singles by Fajardo and Wheatley. Scoring to bunt, and he threw that fastball low. A ball and no strikes. Here on Ethan Dillinger. Fort Morgan has been very good at home this year at 8-1, but find themselves in the same position they were against Thompson Valley. And that is bunted out in front of the plate. The pitcher fields. Soft toss to first is in time. Sacrifice 1-3. 1 down in the 6th inning. Here's Holden Pantier, who had that sharp grounder to Beltran. He doubled and walked. 1 for 2. He's been a major headache for the Mustangs today. On base 2 of 3 times, could have easily been 3 of 3. Langford lays down the sign. Looking back. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball down in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. 3 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors committed by Erie. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Mustangs. Both teams have stranded 7. Time is called. Well, if Fort Morgan rallies, they would play on Monday at a location and time to be determined. If not, 2 Morgan County teams will be in the playoffs. Wiggins in 2A, Brush in 3A. Looking back, and the offering. And the breaking ball's down and away. But again, you were a 1-5 road team. 1-5 road teams don't make it to the playoffs. Erie's 5-3 on the road. They've lost their last 2, but they've won 5 on the road. That's the way you make the playoffs, and they're about to try to seal this tonight in Fort Morgan. The pitch. And that fastball, I think he got crossed up.
Yep.
Langford got crossed up. And the ball gets away. Runner goes to third. Now the infield definitely has to play in. And again, that between pitcher and catcher, that's where Erie has controlled the game. And now you're looking at a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Anything hitting the outfield will plate the 4th run. And Fort Morgan has shown very little signs of being able to generate offense against Trey Hollis. But the one thing they can do, Brian, if they put the ball in play, Erie's made mistakes.
Yep, you just got to.
But first things first, how do you work out of this now?
What they're having a discussion here with the home plate umpire about.
Yeah. I do not know. Approaching, we're 9 minutes shy of 9 o'clock Mountain Time. And for the Morgan Mustangs, it's getting late. Very late. Trailing 3-1 in the sixth inning. A man at third and one out. With the infield in. And a hitter's count at 2-1 to Holden Pantier, the number one hitter in this lineup, one of the better hitters all season for Erie. The pitch, breaking ball, popped up, foul territory, first base side. Langford to the screen, and it's over the fence. 2-2. Two balls and two strikes. You knew this would be tight, Brian. You knew this would be tight.
Yep.
You knew it would be tough to win. You knew Erie would come to play. Here we go with a 2-2. Jesse hasn't had a strikeout. Well, he had a strikeout, a called third strike, I believe, in the last inning. The offering in the dirt. Again, just not been good today. You force your catcher to do that much work. Burnett hasn't had to work that hard.
No.
Not even close.
No.
But Jesse's just throwing way too many pitches. They're not competitive pitches. Again, competitive pitches get him thinking. 3-2. The pitch. Low. Walked him. Here's Mason Baccia, who's grounded out. A bunt single, and then he popped out. 1 for 3. And trailing 3-1, Erie is looking to extend the lead. Here comes Josh Langford. I'm not sure if he's going to pull his pitcher right now in favor of Frank Ortega.
It looked like he might have had somebody warming up down there. Like he was looking down that left field line. So,
well, that would either be Colin Farley, more than likely Farley. But Jesse just doesn't have his great stuff today. He's pitched okay, but not the dominance we've seen before. But then again, it's really not about him. It's about the Mustang offense. You're limited to 4 hits. You didn't hit the ball particularly well. The only guy who's been hitting the ball is Briggs Wheatley. He had half of the hits on Tuesday. Got a base hit today. Campa's got 1. Fajardo has 1. And then Jackson Langford had his in the opening frame. Long conversation now on the hill. You've got to figure out a way for that run not to score. Campa will stay in, but he's almost out of pitches. He is 20 or less than 20 to go here. First and third with 1 out. 3-1. Erie leads in the top of the 6th inning, threatening for more. Temperature now in Fort Morgan has dipped to 81. Let's see what the Mustangs can do. Jesse hasn't induced a grounder in a little bit. Ocho waits. The pitch. Swung on and lined for a base hit into right field off the end of the bat. That's going to score a run. And the trail runner is going to go to third. The throw's going to go all the way through and nearly got away. And it did get away. Ball gets by Ortega. That's going to be an error on the right fielder. Langford scoring another run. And it's 5-1 Erie. That was not an advisable throw there.
No, there was no way he was going to be able to pick him or get him over at third. That's going to be it.
Yeah, there's no play. And we're going to take a break here. Erie is in control of the game now, leading Fort Morgan 5-1. We'll come back on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs will finish with a winning record, but a playoff berth looks like it's not going to occur without a major rally here, trailing 5-1. Erie has scored 5 unanswered runs, 2 in the previous inning and 2 in this inning, and they are not done with Sam Stem, who's been on base 3 times, a couple of RBI singles. Frank Ortega's the new pitcher, Jesse Campa at third, and the runner at second is his responsibility. And Erie has simply outplayed Fort Morgan, except defensively, but even there, we had an error on the right fielder Langford on the throw. That skipped by Ortega. So Frank Ortega will look to keep it at 5-1. Mustangs have not lost a game by more than 3 runs this year, so you anticipate a rally. The stretch by Ortega. The pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Fort Morgan in the bottom of the 6th inning against Hollis, who has been very good. Looking back in the pitch. Fastball is upstairs, and the count is level. Mustangs are graduating 5, including 4 starters. And they've already graduated those players. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 across in the top of the 6th inning. Righty against lefty, and the pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Ball 1, strike 2 to Sam Stem. Erie in this game with another base hit. That was their 8th. Looking back. The pitch swung on and popped up into left field. McCoy to his right, now charging towards the line, and he's going to get to it. Now the ball's going to drop. He misjudged it. That's going to send a runner home. It'll be a double for Stem. It's 6-1. I think he misjudged that badly.
Yep.
That ball should have been caught. That was misjudged badly. And it's 6-1. Erie, 3 across in the 6th inning. Yeah, he got a terrible jump on that and just kept going and going. The ball twisting away. Here's Benji Habener, 0 for 2. Not an error, Brian, but it might as well be one.
Yep.
Should have been an out. And the Mustangs can feel the playoffs disappearing. The pitch. Breaking ball is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Havener popped up. Out on offensive interference and walked. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and fisted foul off to the right. Count is at 0-2. Just past 9 o'clock Mountain Time. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. If the Mustangs don't rally, they will have lost the first home game of 2021 and the last and won the 8 in the middle. But still not enough because of all the road losses. Their lone road victory came against Frederick 3-1 on May 13th. The pitch in the dirt. And now taking off for third. The throw, the slide, the tag. And he's going to be... They call him out?
Yep.
They called him out there. He might have slid around that, but he's called out.
I think he was waiting to see if Campa had the ball, I guess.
2 down. So Havener up there after the runners picked off at third. But again, Erie has done the damage already. Plenty of damage. With a 6-1 lead. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Beltran to a knee. Sets. Throws to first, and he skipped by. A terrible throw into the ground.
Yep, ball goes out of
play.
play.
And he's committed an error. Well, only his 4th error, but that was not a good throw. And, well, you can't make that mistake. Not on a routine play. And that'll send up Dylan Alkoof, a very routine play, and he threw it right into the ground. And I think he overthrew it. He threw that too hard.
Yep.
Well, this game looks like it's over, Brian.
Yep.
I mean, you can't make simple plays. Left field, shortstop. No reason to throw it that badly. He's been pretty good all season. In fact, that's his first throwing error. First throwing error.
Yeah, he had some nice plays there to start the game.
2 for 3 is Dylan Alkoof. Fort Morgan really has played a disappointing game. You don't think the playoffs are on the line, and Erie's come to play on the road. The stretch and the offering. Foul to the backstop. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Six to 1 Erie, and the Beltran error continues the inning here for Erie. And the offering, and the breaking ball is low. A ball and a strike. Here to Alkoof. At this point, you just want the pain to go away. Just end this game. Unless you've got a rally left in you, but I don't. Hard to anticipate. Swing and a miss. Threw the fastball right by him. It's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Dylan Alkoof. Stretch. The offering. Foul to the backstop. Count remains at 1-2. Can we please get this inning over with?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they placed a couple of balls perfectly, but the defense now letting them down. The pitch. Foul to the backstop. It's a better hitting team than Fort Morgan is, there's no doubt. They were hitting 300 going in. The Mustangs hitting 291.
9 hits for Erie, 4 for Fort Morgan.
Mustangs
just can't string any together.
You can't have one guy do all the work in Wheatley. And the majority of the offense is his doing in the last couple of games, the majority of it. And the pitch, and that fastball is off the glove and low. 2-2. To Dylan Alkoof in a very long top of the 6th inning. Erie leads 6-1. Well, if he puts it in play, better make the play now. Looking back, and the pitch. Fouled. He's getting on top of that pitch.
Yep.
Remains at 2-2. Getting right on top of that pitch. Yeah, there's no excuse for a bad throw. Never an excuse for a bad throw, not when it's routine. The Mustangs should have batted here for the last 4 or 5 minutes now in the bottom of the 6th, but we're still in the top of the 6th because Erie is a good, solid, feisty team at the plate. They lost to Roosevelt 8-1 on Tuesday. Mustangs swept Roosevelt. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. The pitch, fouled again on the breaking ball. Good at bat here for Dylan Alkoof.
Yep. 9th pitch coming up here in this bat.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Stretched by Ortega. The Mustangs have committed 2 errors in the inning, and that is outside. Yeah, that was off the plate. That's a good call. That is not a strike. That's a good call. It's 3-2. That was clearly outside. 3-2. Darian Burnett waiting to hit next. Stretch and pitch. That is a called strike 3, but you know what? The damage is done. The damage is done, and the Mustangs are in major trouble here. In the top of the 6th inning, Erie scores 3 runs. The Mustangs commit a couple of errors. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th, 6-1. Erie leads Fort Morgan on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs have their work cut out for them, trailing 6-1 here to Erie. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Malachi Bills, Braden Fajardo, and Frank Ortega against Trey Hollis. He's been very good. Bills has reached on an air and popped out. Fort Morgan, unfortunately, might have saved the worst for last, unless they generate a rally and make this game now competitive.
Yeah, they've got to get it started here.
Down 6-1 with 6 outs left in their season. It's just tough. I mean, so many games that they cost themselves, and they're not going to get away with it. They're not going to get away with it. And Trey Hollis delivers to Bills. Fastball nearly hit him. 1 ball and no strikes. You can get 2 or 3 on here with maybe at 0 or 1 outs, then you might have some life. But they haven't had the propensity to do that since the 2nd inning. And the 1-0 pitch, and that's up and in. 2 balls and no strikes to Bills. Mustangs looking for any way right now to generate some offense, trailing by 5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kicking the pitch. That's upstairs. It's 3-0. Again, Hollis has not been issuing free passes. He has not walked a single hitter in this game. He's got 3 strikeouts. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch. That's down and away. It's a 4-pitch walk. That'll bring up Braden Fajardo. A rare walk there for Hollis, who has an ERA of 4.8 going in. There'll be a visit to the hill. Well, Brian, sometimes you need help.
Yep.
And they're going to need help. Without a doubt, they're going to need tons of help. Down 6-1. I don't know if there'll be a pitching change here. But
it's a start. That's what you need.
Yeah.
You got to get somebody on. You still got 6 outs to go.
Anything at this point, and you got to make them earn the 6 outs as well. Premier Farm Credit understands production ag. They've been serving our rural communities for now, and for over 100 years, actually, in Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. That's Premier Farm Credit. Conversation breaks up Fajardo with a sac bunt and a single. So officially at 1-for-1. He reached on that sac bunt on the throwing error by the pitcher Hollis. Erie had the only errors of the game until Fort Morgan committed 2 in the top of the 6th inning. And let's see, well, I don't know why we have a delay here at the plate.
Nope.
So here we go as Fajardo steps in from the right side. Hollis looking in. 2-step lead at first, and the pitch. And that is a strike on the inside corner. Belt high, it's 0-1. Sometimes that conversation helps. You settle back in. You're ready to go. Fajardo awaits the 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Burnett. It is 0-2 to Braden Fajardo. Frank Ortega waits to hit next. At first is Bills. He's got a very conservative lead. And the offering. And that is a called strike 3 and a breaking ball down the middle at the knees. 1 down. 5 outs away are Erie from winning this game. Here is Frank Ortega, a sac bunt and a pop out. 0-for-1 in the game. Let's see if Frank can come through here. You got to get to the top of the order quicker than later. The pitch swung on and lifted into shallow center field. That ball's going to be caught easily out there off the end of the bat. Great pitch, and Sam Stem puts it away. 2 down. Back to first is Bills. Colin Farley will now hit. He's 0-for-2. Hollis has just made the pitches.
Yep. Something Jesse had been doing all year, but he just wasn't on his game, as you had said earlier tonight.
Too many pitches in the dirt. How many wild pitches has Hollis thrown? None. He's going to easily go the distance here, you would think. Colin Farley awaits. That's a breaking ball for a strike down the middle at the knees. It's 0-1. Farley is 0-for-2. With a runner at first and 2 down in the bottom of the 6th inning, Erie leads Fort Morgan 6-1. 2-step lead for Bills. And the offering swung on, grounded right back to the mound, and underhanding to first. And making the play is Hollis. And he retires the 3 hitters he faced after walking Malachi Bills. To the 7th we go. Mustang Baseball is brought to you in part by Stubbs Gas and Oil. It is Erie 6, Fort Morgan 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 6-1 Erie. Let's head to the 7th inning. Darian Burnett, Ben Mueller, and Austin Rodriguez against Frank Ortega. You can close the book on Jesse Campa. 5 1/3 innings, 6 runs, all earned. 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 8 hits, 1 hit batter, and 5 wild pitches, and that really hurt. Wind and pitch, swung on and fouled off to the right. Burnett is struck out. He is flied to left and grounded to second. 0 for 3 is the Erie catcher. Ortega looks in. And the offering. Swag and a miss, the ball tailing away. It's 0-2. Mustangs will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning. And they need to bat all of them, or they will go home with a 9-7 record, a winning season, but a non-playoff year. The pitch, swung on, hit off the end of the bat on the ground, first base side. Ortega picks it up, throws to first, 1 down. One down for Ben Mueller, who struck out twice and singled. He is sitting at 1 for 3. Mueller's base hit down the left field line on a hanging breaking ball. And Ortega comes home, and that's upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, early opportunities, Brian. That 2nd inning was it.
Yep.
Could have gone up 2 or 3 to nothing. Now it looks like you're going to be on the losing side. Fastball, a strike down the middle at the knees. You bring back your starting rotation, though. Wheatley, Ortega, and Campa, which is good news. That's really good news. The pitch, down and away. Ball 2, strike 1. 1 out, bases empty, top 7. Fort Morgan is down by 5, 6-1 to Erie. Ortega ready. And the kick and the pitch. Swag and a miss and a fastball. Challenged him at the knees. Count is at 2-2. With Austin Rodriguez waiting to hit next. And the pitch. And that is over but low. Ball 3, strike 2 to Ben Mueller. By the way, tomorrow is the 35-year anniversary of when Ferris Bueller was released, June 11th of 86. Interesting fact, that has nothing to do with the game. 3-2 pitch, swung on and fouled, fisted foul off to the right. Stays at 3-2.
Also my folks' anniversary tomorrow.
Oh, happy anniversary, wow. That's pretty awesome. That's got to be a big number.
Yep.
Huge number, an awesome number. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And Mueller strikes out on a fastball. 2 down. That'll bring up Austin Rodriguez, who was struck out, popped out, and hit by a pitch. 0 for 2 in the game. You will now step in. Yeah, Trey Hollis has thrown one heck of a game for Erie. He really has. The offering and the breaking balls is straight. The game was tied at 1, and then Erie scored 2 runs in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. That's the difference right now. And the pitch. Swang and a miss to it right by him. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Rodriguez. Ortega looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The pitch, swung on and lofted foul up the left side. One with a breaking ball. Remains at 0-2. Rodriguez with his 4th plate appearance. He was also hit by a pitch. The offering. Swung on line, base hit down the right field line. Langford gives chase to his left. And that's what Erie's been doing all game. They find the gaps, and for Erie, that is their 10th hit of the game. Stuck out the bat, went the other way here for Ethan Dillinger. Struck out, popped out, and a sac bunt. He's 0 for 2.
You don't have to hit a home run every time you get up there. You just need to put it in play.
That's it, and they've done that. They have done that. Mustangs, unfortunately, have not. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Straight up fastball. It's 0-1. Erie did not get to the Final Four, but they were in the state tournament 2 years ago. They were eliminated 2 and out. Well, the Mustangs went 2-2, made the Final Four. No balls and 1 strike. Looking back is Ortega. The pitch. Swing and a miss. On a pitch up in the zone with a fastball, it's 0-2. Ortega comes home. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. Side retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left to the bottom of the 7th. Erie 6, Fort Morgan 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs send the top of the order, trailing 6-1 to Erie here in the bottom of the 7th inning. John Beltran with Brian Nickel at Legion Field. It'll be K.O. Langford, Jackson Langford, and Briggs Wheatley against Trey Hollis, who's doing a masterpiece. Allowed just 4 hits. Hasn't generated a ton of strikeouts. Has 4 in the game, but has only walked 1. Hit a batter, no wild pitches either. That's been key. Kale grounded out twice to the left side and was hit by a pitch. 0 for 2. And again, the one shining thing is that you'll have your starting rotation back next year. He's got to build some defense around him.
Yep, that'll be something to look forward to. With the momentum swing we had here tonight, though, in that 2nd inning when Erie had a chance to score and Jesse Campa shut him down, and then Fort Morgan had their chance in the bottom of the 2nd and could not score. And then it's just been kind of downhill from there.
And Erie's not guaranteed a spot. According to Kevin Fergus, they would lose out by a small fraction. They would miss that 24 spot. Winding the pitch. Fastball is up and in. A ball and no strikes. Riverdale Ridge was right behind Fort Morgan. They beat Riverdale 6-0 here. Mustangs have got to put several on base here to have any sort of prayer. Kicking the pitch. Fastball is high. 2-0. 2 Langfords, Wheatley, Campa, Beltran, Bills. Those are your 6 hitters that hopefully will bat along with Fajardo, Ortega, and Farley. 2 balls and no strikes. The offering, and that nearly hit him. 3-0. He walked the first hitter of the 6th inning Bills on 4 pitches, but then retired the next 3.
Yeah.
Hard to think the next baseball game here, regardless of what happens today, in varsity action will not be until probably next March. They'll resume a normal schedule. You would think in March or early April.
Yeah.
Visit to the Hill. 3 balls and no strikes. We'll have the Brush Bee Diggers on 1010 KSIR on Monday. Location and time to be determined. That will be a 3A regional game. Pitch up and in. It's a walk. Kale on base for the 2nd time. Jackson Langford has singled and struck out twice. And meeting on the mound there. Again, this is the way he started the 6th inning and had no trouble getting out of it.
Yep.
No trouble whatsoever.
85 pitches so far, 53 strikes, 32 balls.
Yeah, so he's got plenty left in the tank.
Yep.
So here we go with Langford stepping in. Langford has struck out twice of the 4 strikeouts that Trey Hollis has generated. Last 3 outs, not easy to get. The pitch, that is a strike at the knees with a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Langford officially at 1 for 3. Short lead for K.O. Langford at first. The stretch, the offering, swing and a foul tip into the glove on a breaking ball. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Jackson Langford. Nobody out, bottom of the 7th. A man on. Erie leads 6-1 over Fort Morgan. Langford digging in. The pitch, swung on, pop, foul, and out of play. Off to the right. Remains at 0-2. Brian, you just protect the plate as much as you can at this point.
Yep.
Really got to protect. The problem is that you don't have any hitters here coming up that have done much in this game after Wheatley. The base hits have all been spread out except 2 in the first inning. Now you have to bunch base runners together. It doesn't have to be a base hit, just anything. The pitch, and that is outside with a fastball. That's been called a strike before in this game.
Yep.
1-2. Wow. That could have been a strike 3, but he did not get rung up. Langford with a 2-step lead at first. Jackson Langford at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. They keep fighting here. Erie might have to go to the bullpen, but that would be a fresh arm. 1-2 here to Langford. 6-1, Erie leads Fort Morgan in the bottom of the 7th inning. The stretch. Hollis delivers. That is a called strike 3. That's a good call. Fastball in the outer half. 1 down. Wheatley has grounded out, popped out, and singled. He's 1 for 3. 2 outs away is Erie from ending the Mustang season here. Wheatley's going to finish with a team lead in hitting. That was Hollis' 5th strikeout, 3 of them against Langford. The pitch, and the breaking ball's a strike. On the outer half at the knees, it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to the Mustang center fielder. Laying down the sign is Burnett. The offering. That is a strike with the same pitch on the outside corner. 0-2. Commanding that area of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Wheatley. I think Hollis might be getting stronger. Looking pretty good. The offering, fouled. Try to jam him. Count is at 0-2 still. Still several pitches away from hitting 100. Here is Trey Hollis. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, swung on, grounded right side. Second baseman to his left on his knees. He'll have no play. It'll be a base hit. We'll call that a base hit. That would have been a tough play there. Wheatley with his 2nd hit of the game as Baccio went down. And there's Jesse Campa, who has singled, reached on an error, and struck out. He's 1 for 3. But again, you're still a couple of hitters away from sending the tying run to the plate. At second is Langford. Wheatley at first. Stretch by Hollis. The pitch. And that ball nearly clipped him. It did. It got him on the jersey. And the bases are loaded for Beltran. Well, if there was ever a time, Nick's been in a little bit of a slump here to come through. Gonna be right now. No pitching change yet. But this would be it. 6-1. The tying run is on deck. Tying run is on deck with the bases loaded and one out in the 7th. And Hollis is at 96 pitches. Beltran has popped a short. He's popped up the center and right. Got to put it on the ground. He is overdue. 1 out of his last 15. Hitting from the left side, the stretch. And the offering. And that ball got him on the elbow guard. Are they going to keep him there? They're going to keep him there. They're going to keep him there, even though it got him on the elbow guard. So it's going to be no pitch. It's going to be no pitch. He's going to have to hit away. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to get on any way possible, but they're going to make him swing. He's not catching a break there. Awaiting the first pitch here. Here it is. And that is on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Calling time. Well, let's see if Nick can come through here. He's got Bills on deck. Should be no balls and a strike. I don't think the previous pitch even counted. Out of the stretch with the bases full of Mustangs. 1 out, 6-1 Erie, bottom 7. Pitch to Beltran. Swung on and fouled. It must be 2 strikes as he took a 2-strike swing there.
That's what they put up there. They must have called that a strike when he got hit on the elbow guard.
No balls and 2 strikes. Big situation for him. Got to put it in play now. With 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch. Offering. Outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, you don't want to hit it back to the mound. You can end this on a 1-2-3. You want to hit something sharp. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking in for a pitch. Here it is. Swung on and lifted into center field, but that's just going to score a run from third. It's caught out there. And scoring is Langford at 6-2. That doesn't help anything, though. You get an RBI, but that really doesn't help much. You can't make an out there. Drove the ball, but it's now they're down to their final out. Here's Malachi Bills. Well, at least, there you go, 6-2, and Bills has reached in an air, popped out, and walked. Yeah, Nick did not do a good job of hitting the ball on the ground today. Everything was in the air. Fajardo's on deck. And the offering in the dirt with a breaking ball. Ball and no strikes. Here to Malachi Bills. That's not about long distance hitting. They need a hit here.
Yep.
In fact, in this inning, they have just 1. And it was Wheatley's infield single. Hollis is about to go the distance. The offering. That is over but low. 2-0. To Malachi Bills. 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Tying run is on deck, but Bills has got to get on base. Hollis looks back. 2-0 pitch. Down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. Typical Fort Morgan, they fight.
Yep.
But everybody's got to get on now. At second is Wheatley, Camp at first. 3-0. Nick Beltran with a sac fly here in the 7th, but they needed more than that. Finishes off at 0 for 3 in this game. 3 balls and no strikes to Malachi. We could have a pitching change if Bills gets on via walk. The offering, and that is low. It's a walk. Let's see if that prompts the pitching change with Fajardo about to step in.
Coach is coming out.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I might need you to help me spot the number, because that should be it. These dark uniforms, and I don't even have my glasses on. I can't see that easily.
No, it's tough to tell with that color combination on their shirts.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yes.
Ortega on deck's got home run power. Braden, I don't know if he's hit a home run any time. Not in his varsity career that I know of, but even when he was younger. They're going to leave him in? Who knows?
Yep, 6 pitches left.
Yep. Yeah, you can work to this batter. He'll stay in. He will stay in to face Fajardo. If Braden can hit one, this would be tied. With the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th inning, Erie leads 6-2. Fort Morgan has generated a small rally, but the Mustangs have stranded 8 in the game. And now they don't want to make it 11. So here we go with Braden Fajardo, a sac bunt, a single, and he struck out looking. 1 for 2. Trey Hollis will look to go the distance. He's had some control issues of late. He had no walks for a while, now has 3 walks. Runners take their leads. Wheatley, Camp, and Bills. The stretch. The offering. Fastball is upstairs. A ball and no strikes. To Braden Fajardo, the junior second baseman. Again, out of the stretch with the bases full of Mustangs. The pitch. That's a strike. On the outer half with a fastball at the knees, it's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The bases once again are loaded for Fort Morgan. Getting the sign is Hollis. The offering, swing and a miss to a fastball right by him. 1-2. Pitch number 108 about to come up here for Trey Hollis. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking in. The pitch. Foul to the backstop. Stays alive. Maintains that 1-2 count. Got to watch for anything now. Got to look for anything now. Ortega would love to hit in this game and have a chance to maybe win it, but Fajardo's got to get on, and he's in a very difficult situation. Very difficult. 1-2. Pitch to Braden. Down and away with a breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wow. What a situation here.
Yep.
Wheatley, Campa, and Bills on the bases. 2-2. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the offering. Swing and a miss, and Erie has won the game. Fajardo strikes out. Final score, Erie 6, Fort Morgan 2 on B106. B106.com and the Eastern Plains Sports Network will be back with a recap here in 1 minute. The Mustang postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College, here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. The Erie Tigers have ended Fort Morgan's season at 9-7. Erie at 10-6. The final score 6-2. 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors. 9 left on base for Erie. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. 11 left on base for Fort Morgan. Time of the game 2 hours and 36 minutes. The winning pitcher going the distance was Trey Hollis. The losing pitcher Jesse Campa. Campa did get a base hit, an RBI single in the first inning to get the scoring started. And then Erie would get the equalizer on a Sam Stem RBI single in the third inning. Stem came through with another run-scoring base hit in the fifth inning to make it 2-1. And then Dylan Alcoff RBI single made it 3-1. And then they essentially sealed the game with 3 more. In the sixth inning, Mason Bacha RBI single compounded by an error, scored 2. Stem with a run-scoring double. He was too tough. He was a big hitter in this game. And then Nick Beltran, a sac fly in the bottom of the seventh inning. But, Brian, it's a tough one to swallow.
Yep. Yeah, that's you got it at home here, right where you want it, and you don't play anywhere close to your best baseball, that's for sure, and let Erie come in here and take it. And I know you being a father of a senior player here, that's tough to sit here and take. I know when my boys were in school, it was, those last games are always tough. So.
Yeah, especially when you have a chance to make the playoffs, and that's why I got to hang on to what happened 2 years ago when they had a miraculous rally to beat Palisade down to their final 5 outs, trailing 6-2 in Palisade. They won that game by scoring 7 unanswered runs and then made the final 4, and it's tough to get back even to the playoffs, let alone the state tournament. They didn't get to the playoffs. 9-7 the final record as Erie wins the game 6-2. And Brian, you and I will be back at it in the fall.
Yep.
For some football, unless somebody tells me differently. My son has graduated, did end up not playing football, but the 5 Mustang seniors here: John Schwenke, Cale Langford, Jackson Langford, Malachi Bills, and Nick Beltran, all with some good seasons. John did make an appearance today after that incident on May 13th struck in the eye. But the Mustangs lose today by a score of 6-2 to the Erie Tigers. Thanks to all of our sponsors throughout the 2020-2021 high school sports season. Special thanks as well to Brian Nickel. I'm John Beltran. The final score, once again, it was Erie 6, Fort Morgan 2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.